But I was at the border last weekend, and I can tell you, people are pouring over across. Our guys have worked to interdict. They interdicted 3,000 as of, I think, yesterday, made over 100 felony arrests as of yesterday with criminal aliens. Different parts of the border. We are in the Del Rio sector, not as good for drug running as McAllen, but there's been a lot of drugs interdicted by Texas DPS and others. But when someone comes pouring across, what they do is they hand them over to the feds, and the feds just release them. So they're releasing huge amounts of people into the country. And these are not just people coming who are Mexicans coming. There's people from over 100 nationalities that are coming through there because they know the easiest way to get into the United States without having to go through the rules is to just somehow get there and come across the southern border. Yeah, they give you a citation. They tell you, show up for this court hearing for your deportation. Call this number and you schedule your own hearing. Well, think about that. How many people are actually going to call and schedule their own hearing? It's like if someone robs your house, how would you feel if a cop told the person, hey, you're suspected of robbing this house, call this number and schedule your burglary trial? Not something that would be very, very good. So there's huge amounts of people pouring in, and they don't have any regard. COVID is not even anything they're even talking about. They're just they don't get shots. I think that they may do some testing. I don't know. But the bottom line is, these are folks coming in from a whole bunch of different countries, mostly very poor countries that have, I'm sure, very minimal vaccination rates. And so that's just what's happening. And again, you got to ask yourself, why would you be restricting American citizens because of COVID, but then letting foreign nationals come in potentially, or just come in anyways? You don't know folks who've been involved, any of these criminal aliens that have come over. We've had people in Florida killed by people that were here illegally and had already been deported. And you look at that, you look at the victims' families, and it's like, had the government just enforced the law, that would not have happened. Then you look at other folks who, especially in North Florida, we have all the methamphetamine problems in a lot of those rural counties. 95% of the meth that comes into our country now comes across the southern border. Having a porous border makes that obviously all the more easy. And then just the sheer volume of people, that is going to put a lot of stress on school systems, healthcare, all these other things going forward. And in fact, I was shocked when we met with our guys, for the Florida guys over there. They said 70% of the people they interdicted were trying to get to Florida. 70%. I mean, that's incredible. But you think about, if you're talking millions and millions of people over a 4-year period, potentially, that is because just in Texas, they've already hit 1 million people that have crossed, illegal crossings, and it's a record. They've never seen anything like it. So I think you extrapolate that out, you're looking at a huge, huge influx. And put aside the narcotics, put aside the criminal activity, just the fact when you have that many people, and you have to ask yourself why. It's a deliberate choice because the program that we had in place previously worked. It worked to stop the flow. You didn't have massive numbers of people being able to come through because you had remained in Mexico, you had safe third-party agreements, you had a whole bunch of other things. And so it was frustrating to be out there. I mean, our guys have done well. They all volunteered when Arizona and Texas asked for mutual aid. We always give each other aid in emergencies. We've gotten a lot of aid in hurricane situations. But I also told my guys, I'm like, look, I want to help, but I want to make sure this is a mission that you guys are comfortable with. And they all volunteered to go. Everyone that's been over there has been a volunteer, and they want to go back. So they're invested in it. It's an important mission, but it's frustrating because the ramifications of that are a deliberate choice that's being made right now. And, it's not a choice that's going to be beneficial. Yes, ma'am.